TV, music, movies, literature, politics, and show business. At one time or another, they all come to the Ron Sedgy Show. So why don't you?
I needed money 'cause I had none. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won.
You can try fighting the law all you want, but the law is always going to win. From politicians and celebrities to sports figures and business leaders, they're fighting the law. Now, here to sort out the nation's top legal news stories is America's favorite legal analyst, Royal Oakes. This is the Royal Oakes Show.
Robbing people with a 6-gun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won.
Thank you, Mike Horn, and welcome to the Royal Oakes Show. Welcome to our co-host, Ken Jeffries. How you doing today, Ken?
Another week.
Another big week. How about our millennial correspondent, Connor Oakes? How are you?
I'm doing very, very well, as always. Happy to be here.
Let me tell everybody why Connor is doing so well. It is his 30th birthday today.
That's true. Yeah, good job. I didn't
So the whole show is going to be dedicated to celebrating Connor's
I'm glad that it
30th
was,
birthday.
is because in a way this is kind of like a forecast. It's a rundown of what we're going to talk about on the show today, and I was going to make sure that we spend time.
It's Connor's birthday. Yeah.
So I took this Sharpie here, and I made sure that this forecast.
I hate to
of
tell you
we
what
were
that
gonna
looks like
do
on
today.
television.
No, what are you talking about? Get your mind out of the gutter.
So you're being presidential here by using the Sharpie.
Exactly.
I bet stock in Sharpie has gone way up ever since.
Yeah, people keep saying Sharpie.
You know,
on
I
the
heard the
news.
Trump campaign, they're selling Sharpies that were they selling the Sharpies that he used in that thing or something?
Really?
They're selling
Well, I think
I
it'd be
don't know
a
if it
good
was
fundraiser.
true.
Trump is famous for signing with a big, thick black marker and this ridiculously, intricate signature because he's
Remember
so.
when the reporters asked him, "Did you do that thing with the hurricane?"
I don't know.
And he said, and he couldn't. And he said, "I don't know."
I don't know how that happened. I don't know. I was just in my office, the Oval Office, with this prop that I was using to show the American people, and it has this big, stupid black Sharpie line on it. And even though I'm the president, I didn't ask, what that is, who did that, did some aide come in here and draw on my prop?
You know who I felt
don't know what happened.
I felt sorry for, I guess, was the acting Secretary of Defense. Everyone is acting in his administration.
Yeah.
Had to, show that map?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought that in the Reagan administration you would have acting cabinet members.
Ooh, nice.
Well, he was literally an acting president.
Explain to me this thing about Alabama and the prediction.
So what happened
Apparently,
is
Trump predicted. I'm pretty sure it's going to hit Alabama first, and it turned out he was wrong.
It wasn't
and
even
he
that
stuck to
bad.
his guns, and everybody is fighting with him.
Right.
It's kind of like the size of the inaugural crowd. I mean,
Right. Exactly like that. So what happened is
Why?
Trump said in a tweet, everybody hold on to your butts, or something to that effect, because this Storm Dorian is coming. It's really bad. It's better than
Can't
other
say
people think. And there are a bunch of states that are in danger. Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Alabama.
Right.
And then the
Meteorologists
National
demurred.
Organization for NOAA.
National Oceanic and Atmospheric
you
Administration.
very
I
much.
think it is.
Yeah,
I think
good
it
job. And
well,
the
they do
weather's
the Santa Claus.
Jeopardy.
They do the Santa Claus things
Right,
every
yes, of
Christmas
course
Eve.
they
You know,
do,
where
yeah.
the Santa Claus is coming.
So they tweet in response and say, no, Alabama, don't freak out. Don't evacuate. Don't do emergency procedures. You're not in danger in Alabama. We repeat, Alabama's not in the path of the storm. A bunch of people make fun of Trump for this. He doubles down. He triples down. He quadruples down. It's
'Cause he's
been like
never wrong.
6 days straight of constant tweeting
And he did it,
about
and
how
he did it today. Too.
I
He did it
promise
again.
at a certain point it was going to hit Alabama, and then the forecast changed. I wasn't wrong.
Well,
I
at
didn't
least-
make a one-word mistake in a tweet. You make a 10-word mistake in every tweet.
At least he didn't have some giant victory that he's squelching by focusing on something else. That's normally
At
the
least he
pattern.
didn't say mission accomplished on a boat like Bush.
True.
did.
Bush
Bush
true.
Jr. and all.
Hey, did you guys hear just this morning? The news broke. This is wild.
yeah?
Ambien, the company that makes Ambien, has just filed for bankruptcy.
Really?
Yeah, they're out.
Wow.
of-
We have to take an Ambien
like
after
Pfizer.
finding out
Well,
everything.
here's the deal. Folks
Wow.
figured out all they had to do was watch the replay of CNN's 7-hour climate change town hall, and they go right to sleep. And the Ambien people, they are totally out
of business.
luck.
Yeah.
So did any of you
No, I
guys
didn't.
watch
And is
any
that
of it?
fake? And is that fake news, by the way?
Yeah, it is.
that
It is
was
fake news.
That's
So you
that's
didn't
fake
watch
news.
any of the climate
No,
change town hall?
I didn't see the CNN climate change because I was busy washing my socks. I think
So
or something. I can't
they
remember
said it was super boring.
I've only
and the
watched
ratings
it.
were so low.
I've only watched it
How
4
low
or 5
were they?
times.
They were so low. They were so low.
How low? I've only watched it 4 or 5 times, and I'll tell you what, I die laughing every time. Honestly,
I think
can't get enough of it.
Sermonette beat them on
Says here,
Channel
while
4.
CNN marketed their 7-hour climate town hall forum with many of the Democratic presidential candidates as unprecedented, the network was in last place in total viewership between Fox News and MSNBC.
No, I'd like to see Hannity do it. That'd be interesting,
At the end of their event, CNN host Don Lemon announced the network will be hosting another town hall with the Human Rights Campaign Foundation to focus on issues that are important to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community. That's going to be a ratings buster, too.
Yeah,
so they really
it
know
is.
how to get the
Well,
numbers.
I'll tell you. Wasn't there a debate the other day, and the big thing that came out of it was Joe Biden had blood in his eye?
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we're going to get into that.
It was
Joe
a-
has a major medical issue.
Well, I mean,
Now,
not that major, but sure.
well, we hope it isn't major.
Of course.
So here's the good news on climate change,
yeah, good
guys. We
news,
don't
good
need
news.
a damn town hall by CNN.
Yeah.
According to CBS News, a fleet of 100 planes making 4,000 worldwide missions per year could save the world from climate change, and it's only going to cost $2.5 billion, which is a drop in the bucket when you're talking about this. I mean, Bernie's Green New Deal was like $16 trillion. Planes spraying tiny sulfate particulates into the lower stratosphere about 60,000 feet up. This will shield the Earth from just enough sunlight to help keep temperatures low. And this isn't a joke. This is something that
CBS?
actually can solve the climate change problem. The aim would be to have the temperature increase by trapping the greenhouse gases.
Have as in cut in half.
Well, cut in half, yeah. So isn't this fantastic news, guys?
course.
We don't have
We're
to
done.
give up our
We're done.
burgers.
We don't have to we're done.
And our
Solved.
Arco gasoline.
You know, an ex-girlfriend of mine actually did her degree in undergrad at Santa Barbara was in climate engineering, specifically. Yeah, and that's what their whole field was about. Well, what do we do? Do we seed the oceans with metal? Particulates that provide surface area and nutrients, iron that algal blooms need to create a bloom of algae, and then it captures a bunch of carbon out of the atmosphere, and then the algae theoretically, hopefully, sinks to the ground, the ocean floor, and traps the carbon there. And all these brilliant ideas by brilliant scientists to try and come up with solutions.
By the way,
unfortunately, a lot of them have side effects. I mean, you put sulfides in the upper atmosphere, you're blocking heat by blocking light, and that means that plants that live on the margins in terms of how much photosynthesis they do are going to die.
I can live with that.
Me too.
How many planes do they need for this now?
Like 5.
And where would they take off from?
Yeah, I think they just
Mar-a-Lago or
anywhere
something?
and
Or
everywhere.
Trump's Scottish.
Trump Airlines?
Trump's Scottish,
Trump Airlines.
Fleet of
Sorry.
100 planes, and so hopefully.
And who?
100
This was
planes
on
is like
on
Sun Country
CBS?
Airlines.
Yeah, CBS is on board now.
So that's not fake. Not fake.
No, it's not fake news.
Not fake
This
news.
is not from
Not
Fox.
fake
no.
news. Oh,
So let's talk.
Shots
in that
fired,
case, if it was
shots
Fox
fired.
News, the planes would only have right wings.
Yeah, that's
like it.
good. Hey.
I'm here all week. Try the veal, ladies. and gentlemen.
I want to know if you guys are changing your minds about Brett Kavanaugh now. The lawyer representing
I like
Dr.
beer.
Blasey Ford. Didn't you love Matt Damon's
so good.
impersonation?
Wedding and I like beer. Yeah. That was,
He comes out and he says, I'm going to start at an 11. I'm going to take it up to a 15 right quick.
Yeah.
That's exactly
So
what
good.
Kavanaugh did, and it saved his job.
It did.
So here's the news break. This week, the lawyer who's representing Dr. Blasey Ford was giving a speech, and I don't know if she knew she was being videotaped, but sure enough she was. And in the speech, she dropped this little bomb that, well, yes, one of the motivations for Dr. Blasey Ford was her very serious concern about the future of Roe versus Wade if Brett Kavanaugh gets on the Supreme Court. So that was one of her motivations.
Right.
Does anybody have a problem with Blasey Ford having as part of her motivation
not if what she
a concern about abortion rights?
But not if what she testified to is true.
If that's true.
Yeah.
But
And
that's the
so-
big question. We have to find out whether she really, if,
Well, let's
you know,
think about
if
this.
we
She can
wanna
think whatever she wants,
Yeah.
but-
revisit history. It
Oh,
would
I
be
know.
interesting to know what her true motivations
Well,
were.
let's think about this thing. Well,
So is it a gotcha moment? I mean, what?
There's two factors
so.
here. One, that lawyer is not Dr. Blasey Ford. She has,
Right.
she has suspicions and thoughts of her own thing. I'll tell you what.
We have no reason to doubt the accuracy of
And by
her
the way, who
statement.
recorded this?
I'll tell you.
Who recorded this?
I'll tell you.
It was grainy video.
I'll tell you, you learn in law school first year that when your client confesses to a crime, you're not supposed to believe them.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't always know what's happening inside your client's head. They're telling you
in the
things.
Second year, they teach you to believe Dr. Blasey Ford's lawyer.
Yeah. Second of all, you don't have to interpret that as, well, because I have a motivation to preserve Roe v. Wade as it exists or prevent it from getting worse in some way, therefore I'm going to do or say anything that's wrong, untrue, etc. That can simply be her motivation for speaking the truth, right? She can, or it could be even related.
Right.
She could be saying, look, this is a guy who doesn't respect women and doesn't understand or respect women's rights because of what he did to me, and therefore I think he will make bad decisions on the Supreme Court regarding women and women's rights and women's autonomy and liberty. So those things in my mind are actually pretty well connected. I don't have a problem with her saying, this guy, if he sexually assaulted me, I think he's going to have the wrong opinion on abortion because it's a women's rights issue. Those two, that makes total logical sense.
If Blasey Ford said on tape, I faked my testimony so that Roe v. Wade wouldn't be, that would be a gotcha. That would kind of be a gotcha moment, and also probably a reason to throw her in prison.
Right.
Well, I guess I'm okay with all that, but the reason I'm okay with it is because he's on the court, and it doesn't really matter at this point.
Doesn't matter anymore.
So there we go.
Yeah, I mean, that is the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. Everyone's attitude is, oh my gosh, 2020 is the most important election of our lives, and we can all
it's a coincidence. Every single election for the last 30 cycles has been the most important.
We can turn it around, and it's our chance to make a statement to the world and to each other that our country can be better, blah, blah, blah. No, the 2016 was the most important election of your life. Well, probably 2000 with Al Gore getting robbed, but besides that, this is the second most important. The courts are gone.
Right.
The courts are gone. Mitch McConnell held all these spaces open, ruined Obama's ability to actually
50 or 60 years from now. There's a chance things could get turned around.
The federal appellate bench is massively now populated by Trump jerks, and we've lost the Supreme Court for, like you said,
jerks.
50 or 60.
That's a pretty strong language.
I'm sorry.
But it is your birthday, so it's okay.
Yeah, you're allowed one jerk for your birthday.
Yeah, but just
what does
jerk.
that mean? I don't know what that means.
Just the J word. Okay, just the J word. Got it.
So let's talk Joe Biden's health. The poor guy, look for Trump saying he's got blood coming out of his eyes or wherever.
It's whatever.
So former Vice President Joe Biden was on CNN.
George Biden.
Hamana. He appeared to have a blood vessel burst in his left eye while taking part in CNN's town hall on climate change.
Yeah.
So this is called subconjunctival hemorrhage.
Yeah, I had that too when I was a kid.
Okay. So high blood pressure can cause it, bleeding disorders, blood thinners, or excessive straining. But he was right here on our stage, and he was answering a question. All of a sudden, my goodness, the poor guy's eyes gone.
Yeah, he was on Colbert's show that night, and it had begun.
Oh, okay.
It was about halfway.
Well, makeup can take
and
care
getting
makeup on his eye.
Corneal makeup.
And then by the time he was over at the CNN town hall, it was progressed to the full red eye.
So let's talk about his health, because people are kind of concerned about it. In 1988, he had an aneurysm that burst and required emergency surgery. He had a second aneurysm later, and they clipped it off, whatever that means. We'll have to ask Faye. They literally had to take the top of my head off, according to Joe Biden. I thought that was nice that a politician would admit that. They literally had to take the top of my head.
Well, he speaks off the top of his head, so what's the difference?
He had a benign polyp during a colonoscopy removed in 1996. In 2003, he had his gallbladder removed. He has asthma and allergies.
Right.
And prescription drugs.
Critics would argue Trump had his brain removed. What's the difference?
So here's the question. Since 2008, the last 11 years, he has refused to reveal his medical records.
Right.
Is that a problem? Is it more important to see Trump's taxes or Joe Biden's medical records? He will be the oldest American in history to take office as president if he's inaugurated.
I think that those two things are both important. I think that Americans have an interest in knowing the health of their president going in. I mean, we have him, publicly. Trump's got his fake doctor.
Trump had Dr. Vinny Boombatz.
Yeah, exactly.
On the other hand, Connor, I'm guessing that you feel if Elizabeth Warren were on a ventilator and in a coma, that would be just fine with you.
I mean, I feel like she probably has some good ideas she could write out
with us,
hand.
Royal Oak Show.
We'll be back on CRN with the Royal Oak Show.
The widely popular book Where'd You Go, Bernadette is in theaters. What does actress Cate Blanchett say is one of her favorite relationships in the film?
There's a cataclysmic relationship that she has with her neighbour, from her perspective, a busybody parent at the school. And often the person that you have the most antagonistic relationship you have a lot in common with. And I think that's a bit of a revelation for both of them.
Where'd You Go, Bernadette, rated PG-13. Rated PG-13. For This Entertainment Answer, I'm Matt Mungle.
Looking for an intimate, romantic getaway? Escape to Maui's premier bed and breakfast, The Plantation Inn, a quiet oasis in the heart of Lahaina town. Guest rooms and suites offer Hawaiian plantation decor, combined with modern amenities, and surrounded a serene courtyard with a pool, jacuzzi, and lush tropical foliage. The inn is located just steps from Lahaina's historic Front Street for an easy stroll to museums, galleries, shops, and restaurants. Call 667-9225 or visit theplantationinn.com and plan your getaway now.
Hi, I'm Fred Dreyer. You have all helped build MyPillow into the amazing company that it is today. Now, Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO of MyPillow, wants to give back to my listeners. You can get great discounts on all MyPillow products if you go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio listener specials. And you can save up to 50% off on MyPillows, mattress toppers, bed sheets, and so much more. For example, the body pillow is regularly $89.99, but with promo code WINNER, it's only $29.99. Remember, all MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Just go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener special and save up to 50% off, including the body pillow, for only $29.99. Enter promo code WINNER or call 800-513-3363 for these great specials.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Welcome back to the Royal Oak Show with our co-host Ken Jeffries, our millennial correspondent Connor Oakes. Our beloved feature, Moron of the Week. We talk about two stupid people. At the end of the show, we vote on who the stupidest one of all is. So this guy's a good, strong candidate. Right. His name is Glyn Richards. He's from Wales. That's
his name is Glyn Richards?
Yes.
That's awesome.
51 years old.
I like him already. I'm never voting for him. He's great.
He has a car, and the car isn't actually operational. It's not working. Oh. And so he needed to move it. Not far, only about 1,000 feet from one spot to another. So what he does is he gets a bunch of his friends, and they literally lift the disabled car on top of his car. And he drives it 1,000 feet, strapped down. He had a Volkswagen Passat that was driving, but a Skoda Octavia, whatever that is, it's about the same size car. So they strap one car on top of another.
Sure.
And he drives it 1,000 feet. And as luck would have it, the cops notice. What are the chances, that an officer is going to be driving by? And he gave him a $250
That just
fine.
sounds smart. Was anybody hurt?
Currency is in Wales. No, nobody was hurt at all except his bank account when he had to pay the $250
this guy
ticket.
Seems like a genius of the month.
So instead of a hatchback, there was a humpback. Wasn't a humpback car?
Something like that. So, I don't know. Seems a little moronic.
We're humping. I get it.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. No, I didn't. I honestly didn't mean that.
So, let's talk Blacklist.
It's okay.
back in the 1950s, during the McCarthy era, a lot of actors and directors and writers were blacklisted. And Dalton Trumbo, who did Johnny Got His Gun, and
it was really serious.
The movie it was made recently. Bryan Cranston did a great job playing Dalton Trumbo, and people literally had to change their name. They used pseudonyms. They would, or have a friend go in and say, "I'm going to write Spartacus." And so Spartacus is written by
Woody Allen
John
did a great film about this years ago. Woody Allen's on Blacklist too for different reasons, but the movie was called The Front, and he fronted for different writers who had been blacklisted.
Right.
And I think it came out about 30 years ago.
And was it because they had ties to communism or suspected ties?
Yeah,
to
they
communism?
were called before committees of Congress. If you now, or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? Some people would say no. Some people would decline to answer based on the Fifth Amendment. Some people would admit it. And the bottom line is that people wouldn't get hired by Hollywood because of their politics being on the left side of the political spectrum.
The producers actually were basically on the right side, so-called the right side.
Yeah.
And
but it was being very left-wing that would stop you from working in Hollywood. So if you're wondering why I'm making this trip down memory lane, you know, in Hollywood today, there's a big effort to find out who supports Donald Trump. We want to reveal the names of the actors and directors and writers who support Donald Trump, and an actor by the name of, what's his name, Eric McCormack, called for a boycott for hiring anybody in Hollywood. The Will and Grace actor who has supported Donald Trump. Now, what do we think of this modern-day blacklist?
Well, here's the other thing, too. I presume you're going to talk about Deborah Messing also, because Trump called for investigating just about on Twitter. I don't want to put words in Trump's mouth. He does that on his own. But he nearly called, I think, for an investigation of Deborah Messing.
Right.
Trump did.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, it's like, you know...
Yeah, well, we know Donald Trump does unusual things. But now, what do we think about the Hollywood blacklist of Trumpsters? Do we think that just like we disapprove of what happened in the 50s, should we let, who's the gal who played in the middle?
Well, listen,
Patricia Richardson from the Tim Allen show. There are a bunch of right-wingers in Hollywood. They don't often make it public.
With SAG-AFTRA, by the way, Patricia, and I don't know the whole thing myself, but she posted something. Patricia Richardson.
Yeah, didn't she run for president of SAG-AFTRA?
Yeah, she did and lost.
Okay.
But she posted something on Facebook. I suppose, I don't know, but she posted something on Facebook, I think today, about this whole thing, and I don't know enough to get into it.
But, so Trump tweeted to at Deborah Messing saying, he put quotes around actress.
Yeah.
Sick burn, dude. At actress Deborah Messing is trying to create a blacklist
like he's a president,
of Trump supporters who people who donated to Trump because she has said, hey, you should know where your money is going. So it's a good thing, she tweeted, it's a good thing that these donors' names are becoming public. Let's get a list of those donors so that if you don't like the fact that your money would be going to a Donald Trump donation, you cannot support those actors, watch their projects, that sort of thing.
So, Connor, you're the chairman of Paramount Pictures. You're sitting in your giant office. You've got your huge stogie in your mouth, and you're deciding who gets to be in your big blockbuster movie. Are you going to blacklist them because they're Trump supporters?
No, but I am going to be afraid that my consumers are going to blacklist my show if I hire a Trump-supporting vocal, if I put Kid Rock as the star of my show. So I won't be able to hire.
60 million people who voted for Trump. They're going to flock into the theater.
Anyone check with Roseanne Barr to see how she's doing, if you get my drift?
That's true.
Good point.
And Ken lifted his microphone.
It's serious.
That's true, I tell you.
Every show, Ken lifts his microphone once or twice, and you know he's serious about what he is talking about.
It's like a Bernie Sanders thing, pointing.
So when we come back, San Francisco values at work. San Francisco has decided the NRA is a terrorist group. We'll discuss that when we return.
We'll be back on CRN with the Royal Oak Show. Is getting a full night's rest a struggle because your sheets won't stay in place? Do your sheets make you hot at night, causing you to toss and turn? I've been there, but not anymore. Thanks to MyPillow's Giza cotton sheets, I'm getting a full night's rest without the hassle of fixing my sheets. Giza cotton sheets by MyPillow are made with the world's best cotton. It's called Giza, G-I-Z-A. It's grown only in a small area near the Mediterranean Sea. Its cotton is so super smooth and breathable, and they're extremely durable, made with deep pockets that'll fit over any bed. And just like those My Pillows we love so much, our Giza sheets are made right here in the USA with 100% machine washable and dryable cotton. Go to MyPillow.com and order your Giza sheets today and receive 30% off and free shipping when you use the promo code WINNER. That's right, free. That's MyPillow.com and promo code WINNER. Get yours today. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code WINNER. Hi, everybody. Michael Horn from CRNTalk.com. You know, we provide you with the best in talk radio. 8 channels of talk radio, from radio on the left, radio on the right, sports talk, business talk, religious talk, Spanish talk, you name it, we've got talk radio for you. All at CRNTalk.com. Well, now we'll bring you video as well as audio. That's right. Watch your favorite shows like The Robert Conrad Show, The Fred Dreyer Program, What's Cooking Today, What's Cooking on Wine, The Lounge, and so many other shows in video right at our website, CRNTalk.com. You can also watch us on Roku. Just search CRN Talk, and you can watch us on Roku on any TV anywhere in the world. Also on Facebook Live. Go to Facebook.com/CRN Digital Talk. Facebook.com/CRN Digital Talk. Roku, search CRN Talk. Check us out on Tiki Live and at CRNTalk.com. Video for you talk fans, all from CRN Talk. CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal, marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for 2. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Hi, everyone. This is Fred Dreyer telling you about my favorite Italian restaurant. It's Angelo's and Vinci's in Fullerton, California. Angelo's and Vinci's has the best pasta, the best seafood, the best salads, spaghetti, lasagna, and the most incredible pizza. And the chicken is delicious. Marsala, piccata, cacciatore, parmigiana, and more. For desserts, try our spumoni or our tiramisu, my favorite, flown in fresh from Italy. And the cannolis and the zeppolis are out of this world. Open for lunch and dinner. And don't miss the Sunday champagne brunch, just $23.95. Are you kidding me? It's all up the road from Disneyland at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Angelo's and Vinci's, like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. Call 714-879-4022 or visit us online at angeloandvinci's.com.
Back to Show with our co-host Ed Jeffries and our millennial correspondent Connor Oakes, celebrating his 30th birthday today.
Oh yeah, celebrating.
So shout out to our friend Sharon Katchen of KFWB fame. Sharon is watching according to the Facebook feed. Sharon, of course, is married to Billy Pearl, and I say Billy Pearl because not Bill Pearl, because I saw for the third time recently.
Here we go. Once upon a time
in Hollywood.
You saw it 3 times already?
I've seen it 3 times. So The Real Don Steele. And,
Billy should have been in it, but he
should have. Well, that's where I'm headed here. Real Don Steele and Robert W. Morgan, legendary disc jockeys and humble harp, featured in this movie from the late 1960s KHJ.
Yeah, it was a great film.
Along comes Billy Pearl, and he was a tremendous talent. He was in a lot of rock and roll stations, including KHJ in the mid 70s.
93 KHJ.
93 KHJ, and he was an amazing disc jockey, and so I am a huge fan, and this is amazing. I see him at law school in the mid 70s. I'm in law school. He's a couple of years behind me because he's decided
he's an attorney, right?
Yeah, apparently, being a big time disc jockey just wasn't enough for Billy to go to law school. So I meet him, I say hello, and I start talking. I want to talk about KHJ and how he was this big time rock and roll DJ in LA. He didn't want to talk about it. He wanted to talk about the law. He wanted about torts and interrogatories and so on. It was very unsatisfying. I mean, he kept veering back to these boring topics.
So disappointing.
But he was fabulous. And so recently, inspired by the movie, I listened online to an air check of Real Don Steele and Billy Pearl.
Yeah, Billy was good.
He was great. He was terrific. So if Billy, if you're watching...
by the way, Sharon was good
if you're
on
watching,
the radio on KFWB.
If you're watching, he apologizes for not helping you out with your law school
the interrogatories and all that boring
trying to
stuff.
veer you back onto the past.
That's right. So San Francisco values at work here, guys. I reported last week how I went up to San Francisco on a business trip. I'm sitting in a conference room, and I'm trying to throw some crap out, and I can't because there are no waste baskets in the offices of the conference rooms in San Francisco because you've got to go to a communal recycling annex with 5 colored bins and you distribute the trash. And, of course, they have one for hypodermic needles. They have one for human feces because it's San Francisco values. So don't go to San Francisco. There are no waste baskets.
They also actually have another bin that has an endangered sea turtle covered in oil in it, and they make you wash off a turtle for everything you throw out as a balance thing.
They're pretty special. So here's the new development for San Francisco values. They're declaring the National Rifle Association to be a terrorist group. I'm not sure if that's really a domestic terrorist organization. No? They say they're using their considerable wealth to incite gun owners to acts of violence. I know they're big-time advocates for, gun rights, and they've got some wacky ideas about, we don't need no stinking background checks and so on. But are you really inciting people? Come on, young male white guys who are unhappy with the world, go out and kill a bunch of people with guns that we really like. Is that what they're doing?
So, they are not saying go out and kill a bunch of people.
I knew I was right.
Although they are saying, carry guns and use them if you feel threatened. I mean, that it does lead to people's deaths. But they are, basing it on things like, it's all about self-defense, blah, blah, blah. What they're doing really is not so much inciting violence directly as Supervisor Stefani on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors put it. They conspire to limit gun violence research. They restrict gun violence data sharing between government organizations, and they block every piece of desperately needed gun control legislation. So the outcomes that they promote and the tactics they use to get those outcomes do result in American dying from gun violence.
Let's assume that they do some disreputable things in terms of the gun issue, but don't you think it crosses the line to call them a domestic terrorist organization? And the reason I think it's a bad idea is because I think we're so polarized. The reason a lot of gun fans take unreasonable positions and say, no, we want the private sales to be exempt and so on, is because they're worried that the camel's nose is going under the edge of the tent, and really what people want to do is confiscate guns.
I got to tell you now,
and if they didn't have to worry about that ridiculous, let's shred the Second Amendment, maybe they would be more reasonable.
But let's shred the Second
Amendment. To call the NRA a terrorist group, I think, that
means by calling them a terrorist group means you egg them on. So it's kind of like you're responsible for gun violence. Well, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
Can I bring something else
up,
too?
Please.
I want to bring up a couple of things. First of all, the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, not exactly a lefty, is calling for increased background checks,
really?
Which is apparently news to the NRA.
Yeah, I saw him on cable news this week.
Yeah, his name happens to be Dan Patrick, no relation to the
sports guy.
The sports guy. Huh. And the other thing is this week Walmart banned sales of guns.
They had
Walmart
already
did it.
Ammo for gun for
They had already
pistols?
stopped selling handguns. Now they're stopping sales of handgun ammo.
Well,
and they're going to stop selling.
The other thing is Kroger, which owns Ralph's here, Market, and other.
They're going to stop selling bazookas.
Bazooka Joe bubblegum.
Right.
No, actually, what it is, and they also have told Walmart has told its patrons to stop bringing guns into the store.
Right.
And in open carry states.
Yeah, please don't.
California's not an open carry state, is it?
I believe it is.
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't think it would be.
We'll research it and have the answer for next week's show.
But anyway, now Walmart has banned guns, and Kroger has, and I think there were some others maybe this week, but Kroger has also made a statement that they do not want you to bring your weapon. Your gun into.
So these are all good,
interesting
interesting developments.
They're grocery stores,
Right. So these are interesting developments on the gun front.
Yeah.
I see something that's an obvious wild exaggeration and unfair to a lot of people, calling the NRA a domestic terror group is not contributing to a good, healthy debate.
Well, but that's just because, a mass shooter could go into a Walmart, and by the way, the Walmart thing, I presume, was in response to the El Paso shooting,
right,
which occurred in a Walmart.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But
2 in a week, actually.
But, it's like saying, though, if you poke the bear, watch out.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And you're responsible. That means the blood is on the city of San Francisco's hands for calling the NRA a terrorist organization. Mm-hmm. If some NRA person shoots up,
but he's not saying that San Francisco is responsible for gun violence. He's saying that they're responsible for the polarization and the
I know that,
politics and the prevention. They're saying maybe that this sort of action, overreaction, will lead to fewer gun control acts rather than more. So maybe it's a self-defeating problem.
So they shouldn't say anything.
That's where I'm coming from. San Francisco supervisors should say nothing. They should take a vow of silence.
All right, not that it's one.
Give me my wastebasket back.
Fine, right.
Not that I've ever been the centrist on this panel, but I would say that
I'm going to pick up my microphone again.
Twice in one show.
Yeah. So I actually agree that I think this is an overstatement, and I think that it is going to be unproductive. I think that they should have used a very close to this method of describing the NRA. I would have not said that it was. I wouldn't say that they're a terrorist organization, but I might say that they enable terrorism and that they do nothing to prevent terrorism and that they don't care about terrorism. And because of all those things, I would say that that they're bad, like they're morally bankrupt. So they are failing as an organization. They're making the world a worse place.
We'll agree to disagree as to whether people involved with the NRA don't care about terrorism.
Look,
but we can't really settle
the NRA used to be a gun safety organization, and that's it.
Yeah,
as you know. But that seems so long ago.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, they care deeply about their rights, their gun rights. But implicit in that is my gun rights are important enough that kids getting shot is okay.
Let's talk about another controversial issue: vaccines. Okay. Governor Newsom was wimping out,
shooting up.
The legislature in Sacramento.
I'm so sorry.
The legislature in Sacramento is passing a good law that cracks down on these stupid exemptions that crooked doctors are approving. But Governor Newsom is watering down it. He's using his power as the governor. He'll only sign the things he likes.
Without getting into the weeds on this, because I know enough about it to get me in trouble, so to speak, intellectually. I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has been watered down a little bit on insistence from the governor, who is backing off punishing the doctors who hand out too many medical exemptions. And
so that's the mechanism.
But it's still going to be a tough law, and so that's what they're going to do.
Did you see the LA Times feature on this guy, Dr. Bob Sears? He is the son of a famous physician. Let's see, The Baby Book.
Sears Roebuck.
Well, no, Dr. Sears, the dad, wrote a book called The Baby Book. Right?
What's his name?
Like Dr. Spock.
Yeah, Dr. Spock.
And so Dr. Bob is the son of this guy, and he caters to a patient base that basically are anti-vaxxers. He's written a book, the vaccine book, Making the Right Decision for Your Child, and basically he says, it all comes down to parental choice. Know the risks and make a decision that's right for your family. And he's often in favor of delaying the shots and signing these dubious exemptions. Yeah. I mean, really, it all comes down to your choice. The choice should be made by parents who, in the vast majority of cases, know zippo about the medical issues. They just know that Jenny McCarthy is really pretty, and on Oprah, she's against vaccines. So he's influenced by celebrities. I mean, he's putting the lives of children
at risk
and other kids in the community at risk by discouraging this. So why is this guy so popular? The percentage of people approving vaccines for their kids is dropping year by year, consistent with the number of celebrities who come out and say, "Oh, well, we're just not sure." I talked to my astrologer, and she told me
everything.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I think it's a symptom of a natural human desire to be able to control things. I think it's a notion that the world is a scary place. I want to be able to exert control. I want to make a better life for my kids than other people have been able to make for their kids. And what's the opportunity I have? What are the muscles I can flex in terms of making my kid's life better? And it's very easy to get seduced by the notion that vaccines are bad in some way and listen to some junk science and then think that you're better than other people, that you're smarter than other people, that you know more, that I've done the reading on this, and oh my gosh, they have mercury in them. It's just like, so does tuna. Eat it. It's good for you. It's got high in protein. And tuna doesn't prevent polio. So, let's go.
You may be right, but his podcast where he's using real questions about vaccines, it's been downloaded 400,000 times in 92 countries. So thank you, Dr. Bob.
That was a joke.
We'll bring the polio patients to you
it's
for
ethyl mercury.
comforting.
It's a different kind of mercury. There's no mercury
Someone
in vaccines.
introduced Dr. Bob to an iron lung machine.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
So, gosh, we're all into political correctness these days.
We got whiplash on this show.
We're getting the
so much content.
Rid of the statues. Anybody that had any kind of connection with the Confederates, we're getting rid of them. And so I'm just thinking, Connor, maybe we should extend it. There's a town in Texas. It's called Corpus Christi.
Okay.
Now, if I know my Latin or whatever that is, I think that means body of Christ.
Body of Christ.
I'm pretty sure that's what it means. Now, we're supposed to have separation of church and state here in this country.
Yeah.
And it makes some people uncomfortable, the idea that they live in a city officially labeled after Jesus Christ. Yeah. So why shouldn't we call Corpus Christi Obamaburg?
Oh, I like that.
Or Area 53.
By the way, I wonder what the synagogues in Corpus Christi call themselves.
Good question, yeah. So if we're going to be consistent, if we're going to get rid of all the evil remnants of bad things in our past, shouldn't we get rid of, well, now that I think of it, Los Angeles, Santa Monica.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, this is infused with religion. Yeah. And if I don't believe in that religion, I must feel like, a vampire going into the Catholic Church.
Right.
So why shouldn't we get rid of all of these religious names?
I think that it's not a bad instinct that you've got to really be empathetic and care about people's feelings that way.
Would you tell the Corpus Christi residents, because I'm busy next week, if you could just send an email blast?
My position is, if it really is affecting people, then we'll talk about it when we come to that bridge.
You can bet your bottom dollar there's some residents of Corpus Christi who, listening to this podcast, are going to line up and say to the mayor, get rid of this damn name. Good. It makes me uncomfortable.
Good. Then you and I can lead the charge. And Ken, you can go make sure we change some Jewish
names. By the way, as long
names.
as they're changing names of where people are from, I grew up near, not originally from, but near Flushing, New York. And
that's just gross. That's just gross. Why?
There's nothing wrong with that.
It kind of describes the area, but it's like
as soon as people,
just kidding, folks from Flushing. I know there's some New Yorkers listening.
I am a staunch atheist. I'm an agnostic atheist, but that's just a question about the mechanics of what I believe.
You're going to say magnificence.
but I'm a staunch atheist, and I think that we need separation of.
So are you uncomfortable when you step foot in Santa Monica?
Absolutely not. But at some point in the future,
Monica was a good saint.
Well, saints generally are not my favorite thing in the world.
You're not a believer in miracles,
but I don't.
Is that what you're saying?
I believe in Smokey Robinson and the miracles.
They're not, they're not inherently bad. I don't care about them, but I don't like the Catholic Church that decides who gets to be a saint, who canonizes people. I think that they are an organization that is hidden from public view, horrific acts that have been done against children for decades, probably hundreds of years, who knows? And I think that they need to be held to account for that. I think it's terrible. And by the association of Catholicism with our government and our cities and is a dangerous thing to think about. But until it starts wearing on all our psyches, we don't need to talk about it. Maybe some point in the future, maybe 10 years from now, you're right. This will be a major topic of conversation, and then I'll probably get on board with it.
All right, so Corpus Christi is safe for now.
For now.
What about Trumpburg, Arizona?
Yep. Cut it out, burn it to the ground.
Wouldn't that be fun? So gay conversion has been a controversial topic for a long time. And
it's no longer very controversial. We all pretty much figured out it sucks.
It's awkward here. There's a guy named McCrae Game, last name G-A-M-E. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
He's 51. He's founder and leader of Hope for Wholeness in South Carolina.
Oh, that's not great.
He is the founder of one of the largest gay conversion therapy organizations.
Okay.
he's come out as gay. Now that's got to be awkward, you know?
Okay.
Really, he says, I certainly regret I caused harm. He posted on Facebook last week, I was wrong, please forgive me, promoting the triadic model that blamed parents and conversion or prayer therapy that made people believe their orientation was wrong.
Triadic model?
It beats me. I don't know what he's talking about. He said, you know, that was wrong. The process was not just a lie. It was very harmful. It's false advertising. Nearly 700,000 adults who identify as gay, lesbian, or bisexual have undergone conversion therapy treatments or counseling, according to UCLA's Williams Institute.
You know, we got to get this guy to sit down with Mike Pence and explain some things to him.
Wait a minute.
Remember this week, Mike Pence said Mike Pence's aides said Mike Pence can't be homophobic because he sat down and had lunch with the mayor of or the mayor of some city in Europe where he was staying, and that guy's gay, and therefore he can't be a homophobe. And everybody said, no, I don't think that gets you off the hook, Pence.
When we come back, our second moron of the week candidate. Stay tuned.
We'll be back on CRN with the Royal Oak Show.
Savor the past and savor the glory days of Las Vegas. Enjoy 70 years of true Las Vegas history as 4 generations of family wait to greet you at the legendary Bootlegger Italian Bistro. Wine, dine, and experience Mama Maria's award-winning original recipes while surrounded by original family photos and celebrity memorabilia. Enjoy piano artistry nightly with music from the Great American Songbook in our main formal dining room. The Bootlegger Italian Bistro, open 24/7, 7700 Las Vegas Boulevard South, in the entertainment capital of the world. The Bootlegger Italian Bistro, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 7700 Las Vegas Boulevard South, in the entertainment capital of the world. It's Vegas, baby.
This is the entertainment answer. What is our Blu-ray pick of the week? Well, it has to be Avengers Endgame. The emotional follow-up to Infinity War is now here for us to watch again, cry again, cheer again. Whether you've seen it once or a dozen times, it never loses its entertainment value. All your favorite characters are back in this one, plus tons of extras, behind-the-scenes moments. It's rated PG-13, so like all the other Marvel films, know your audience. Avengers Endgame available on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital. For this entertainment answer, I'm Matt Mungle.
Hi, I'm Fred Dreyer. You've all helped build MyPillow into the amazing company that it is today. Now, Mike Lindell, the inventor and CEO of MyPillow, wants to give back to my listeners. You can get great discounts on all MyPillow products if you go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio listener specials. And you can save up to 50% off on MyPillows, mattress toppers, bed sheets, and so much more. For example, the body pillow is regularly $89.99, but with promo code WINNER, it's only $29.99. Remember, all MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Just go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener special and save up to 50% off, including the body pillow, for only $29.99. Enter promo code WINNER or call 800-513-3363 for these great specials.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Want to build your brand? Get boldly distinctive results with Catalyst Nutraceuticals. Catalyst Nutraceuticals are your full-service specialists for formulating and manufacturing. Let us handle your nutritional supplements. Let Catalyst Nutraceuticals make a difference for your product and brand. Go to catalystnutra.com, CATALYSTNUTRA.com, or call 678-641-9941.
Welcome back to the Royal Oak Show with our co-host Ken Jeffries and our millennial correspondent Ken Oak. Hey. So our second candidate for Moron of the Week, young woman. There's a picture of her for those of you watching the video. She looks, really nice there, really happy, and you know why she's happy? Because she's just gotten married.
Oh, that's
and here's
adorable.
the moronic part. She greeted her groom during the ceremony. She marches down the aisle.
Oh, I always get teary.
Yeah, and he whispers in her ear. He says, "You look so beautiful." And you know what she says back to him?
What?
She says, I took a really big dump right before I came down the aisle. Now, this was caught on tape because they taped it. Now, I think she's a candidate for moron of the week.
Well, if she did it in the aisle, that would be even worse.
So even worse, Skin. You're right.
Did they have them mic'd like a NFL quarterback?
Yeah, they're mic'd, yeah.
Why would you have them
So
mic'd?
this prompts a giggling fit from the bride while the groom, he's aware the conversation is being recorded, he eggs her on. He says, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And then he lets her know there's a hidden microphone.
Who put microphones on them as they're walking down the aisle?
I don't know, but I think she's a good candidate for moron of the week. To digress just a moment, there's a story about Ted Kennedy's marriage in the 1950s, and because it was a Kennedy wedding, they actually were videotaping the rehearsal.
Did Ted take it down?
Well, you wait till you hear.
Oh boy!
They're mic'd up. They're going through the rehearsal. John Kennedy is in the Senate, and he's the best man for Teddy, who's getting married. And so they're mic'd up. And so what John Kennedy says to Teddy on tape during the rehearsal is, he says, Teddy, no reason to be nervous. Even after you get married, you can still sleep with other women.
Oh, great. That's great.
And that's on tape. And it's probably on YouTube, Ken.
So like Barack Obama's telling some Russian dignitary that after the election I'll have more flexibility?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, not as important as that, but still. So anyway, early in the show, our first moron of the week candidate was the guy who strapped one car on top of another and drove it strapped down carefully
Ingenious.
for 1,000 feet. Our second candidate is the bride who ruined the ceremony with
Her entire wedding,
this comment, this number 2 comment.
Number 2, literally a number 2 comment.
Exactly. That was my joke.
Just about. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So who wins? Who's most moronic? The guy with 2 cars or the bride with number 2?
I like both of these people. I think he's a genius for coming up with a good solution for removing this disabled car. And I think she and her husband are adorable and they have a great bond and they could talk about,
Well, are they still married? How long ago?
BMs while walking down the aisle. It prompted a giggling fit. Now, if he reacted badly,
tie again?
maybe I would have. I think it's a tie. I think they're both non-moronic. I think that's excellent.
Okay. What about you, Ken?
I think the second one more, a little more, but it was just funny.
Can we just make Brett Kavanaugh moron of the month?
I'm going to vote for the lady. I think she's the stupidest.
All right.
So every year the dictionary comes out. Webster's they come out with the new words that are added to the dictionary, and you guys are hip compared to me. You're much hipper. Scopa tumana. It is a nonsense phrase made popular by a rap by the Ghanaian musician Patapa.
Correct.
Were you aware of Scopa tumana? Is that a thing in your mind?
I do see it on Twitter.
Do you hear people say it though on the street?
I think I may have smoked some of that when in the 60s. I can't remember.
I've never heard anyone say it out loud, and I believe that it is actual nonsense. What you're doing is you post it alongside a photo, and it just conveys, "Isn't this photo absurd?" But it doesn't mean anything.
All right. So here's the second new word for the dictionary: woman, women.
Women.
Instead of W-O-M-E-N, it's spelled W-O-M-Y-N.
Oh, right, yes.
Because feminists don't want the word men, M-E-N, in the word women. Now, am I missing something, or is this the stupidest thing in the world?
They'd have to redo all the bathroom
It's
signs.
not like, hysterical.
Hysterical,
where, that's
has a negative
demeans
connotation,
women.
right.
The word women, it just, the derivation has nothing to do with guys are better than women, so we're going to, stick men in the word women.
I'm no linguist, but was the derivation that men was the baseline and women were a modification, like they were different, like they were just sort of, a throw-on. Maybe that's the idea.
Final new word, smexy, a blend of smart and sexy. Just start using the word smexy and see how people react to it. Have a great week, folks. See you next time on the Royal Oak Show.
Which was most important because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle